and welcome to this class of Basics of Macroeconomics. I am your teacher, Muhammad Nadeem Sarwar. Today, we continue our discussion on introduction of macroeconomics and the major issues that macroeconomics deals with. This is second lecture. In the first lecture, we talked about GDP, unemployment, inflation, and other related issues with these three concepts. In this lecture, we continue our discussion on these and other major issues like business cycle, economic fluctuations, stabilization policies, etc. The reference books are Macroeconomics by Robert J. Gordon, Macroeconomics by Oliver Blanchard, and Macroeconomics by N. Gregory Menke. Listeners, in the last lecture, we talked about real GDP and nominal GDP. We discussed that real GDP is one of the most important measures of the conditions of an economy. Broadly, we can say that if real GDP is increasing over the time, the economy is moving in the right direction. Just for a revision, the real GDP means the real output of an economy over a period of time. In other words, it is the value of all the goods and services an economy produced in a given time period, but the value is corrected for inflation. The two important concepts related to real GDP are actual real GDP and natural real GDP. Actual real GDP is the amount an economy actually produces during a given period of time. This is real GDP number that is often quoted. Too much of actual real GDP causes inflation, while too little of actual real GDP causes a waste of resources. Neither of the two is desirable. Whereas natural real GDP is the actual real GDP when inflation rate is constant with no tendency to accelerate or decelerate. This is also called real GDP trend. The actual and natural real GDP are plotted in this diagram. These numbers are for Pakistan during 1990 to 2015. The blue line is natural real GDP, whereas the red line is actual real GDP. The points where two lines intersect show that here actual real GDP level was equal to natural real GDP level, which means that output was at its natural level. The periods in which red line is over blue line indicate that during these times the actual real GDP was above the natural level. During these times, the inflation is normally high, but unemployment is normally below its natural level. The opposite is true for the periods in which red line is below the blue line. That is, the output is below natural level, inflation is low, and unemployment is higher than natural level. Next important concept is productivity growth. Students, productivity is the average output per hour of work that a nation produces in total goods and services. The faster the average productivity grows, the easier it is for individuals to raise their standards of living. That is, more output per person will be available, including more houses, more roads, more cars, more hospitals, more food items, more schools, etc. An economy with no productivity growth is called zero sum society. In such an economy, any extra good or service enjoyed by one person requires that something else is taken from another person. For example, in order to build more houses, the economy has to sacrifice something other. For example, building fewer hospitals. The productivity grows with more capital, better technology, improvement in quality and access to education and health facilities, better law and order situation, and better institutional quality and governance. Next is the business cycle. Listeners, the business cycle, also called an economic cycle or the trade cycle, is the rise and fall in economic growth that occurs over a period of time along its natural long term growth trend. That is, the output of an economy sometimes goes above its natural trend and sometimes fall below its natural trend. These up and down movements are called as business cycle. The cycle is a useful tool for analyzing the economy. A business cycle has four phases. Peak, which is the highest point reached by real output in each cycle. Trough, which is the lowest point reached by real output in a cycle. Recession, which is the interval between the peak and trough of a business cycle. That is, when the output level is falling from highest point and moving towards its lowest point. The expansion, which is a period in which business cycle moves from trough to peak. A period of time within one business cycle is short run, while a period of time involving more than one business cycle is termed as long run in macroeconomics. Remember, these terms are somewhat different from macroeconomics. In this graph, we plotted different phases of business cycle. This graph is taken from the book of Macroeconomics by Robert J. Gordon. To achieve a better living standard, the output per person must grow over a long period of time. If population growth is same in two countries, but GDP per capita is is growing at a higher rate in a nation, say speed nation, than another nation, say stagnation. This means that people in speed nation can purchase more goods and services, can have better health and education facilities, and enjoy better public services compared to the people living in stagnation. The main short-term concern of macroeconomists and policymakers is to minimize the fluctuations in unemployment and inflation. This requires that the fluctuations in real GDP must be minimized. In the long run, the macroeconomists look at growth. To minimize the short-run economic fluctuations, economists influence the aggregate demand. The set of different policies and tools to minimize short-run economic fluctuations and to achieve long-run economic growth is called stabilization policy. The stabilization policy includes set of different policies and instruments including monetary policy, fiscal policy, trade policy, and other miscellaneous policies that aim at skill enhancement and improving in governance. The stabilization policies are used to offset undesired changes in private spendings, but sometimes it may not be possible to control aggregate demand instantly and precisely. The impact of different policies may also be highly uncertain. Therefore, we say that macroeconomic goals are incompatible. We cannot have low unemployment rate and a stable price level. Therefore, we have to make choices. Student, now we just introduced ourselves with basic issues and problems that macroeconomics discusses. From the next lecture, we shall start exploring these issues in more detail. We shall start with GDP and talk about its measurement and different concepts in next lecture. Post your questions and give your feedback in comments. Also consider liking and sharing the video, subscribing the channel and pressing bell icon so that you can get updates on new videos. Thank you and